We are back, and let's bring in the panel. Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief for USA Today. Julio Vaqueiro, anchor of Noticias Telemundo. Stephen Hayes, editor of The Dispatch. And Symone Sanders-Townsend, host of Symone on MSNBC and the former chief spokesperson for Vice President Kamala Harris. All right, let's set the table here. One thing we've seen, Susan Page, that a lot of people said, let's see what happens, which is there's going to be a lot of money spent in September, so let's see where the midterms look at the end of September, when Democrats were feeling really good at the beginning. And a bunch of the key races have moved. Look at Pennsylvania here. I think it's the first one that we have up. In August, I believe we had a big lead for Fetterman. It is now shrunk to just 4 points, according to a Fox News poll. Go to Wisconsin. Our friends at Marquette had Barnes up 7 in August. Now he's down 1 in the most recent poll. And even in Georgia, we've seen, while Raphael Warnock still leads, his lead has narrowed. So money has mattered, but what's the bigger story? That Republicans have caught up in some of these races, or that Democrats haven't fallen back?
You know, I think one thing that we found is abortion was an issue that really helped Democrats. Now crime is an issue that is increasingly helping Republicans, along with the issue of inflation. And one thing we've seen, for instance, in Wisconsin is that the Democratic candidate there, Mandela Barnes, has been caught up in the same phenomenon that some Republican candidates have found, which is things you said in the past, maybe when you weren't running for this particular office, have resurfaced and portray you as extreme. In that race, Ron Johnson has not improved his favorable ratings. No. He has improved, he has made higher Barnes's unfavorable ratings. And now more than 40% see Barnes as too extreme, just like more than 40% see Johnson as too extreme.
Julio, what are you seeing?
So I think historically we know the party in government does badly during these midterm elections. So we're looking at these numbers, and a tight race for Democrats, to me, looks like a good scenario still, although they still need to fight, and it's an uphill battle for them. If they manage to keep these numbers tight, it looks like, with the economy as it is, and with the inflation as it is, it looks so far so good for them.
What are you seeing, Steve?
Well, I think Julio's right. I mean, what's really notable at this point, I think, is the fact that Republicans aren't doing better, given the historical trends,
so you look
given
at
this economy. Yeah. Well, look at the economy. I mean, you're talking about right track, wrong track of 27 to 65. You're talking about groceries costing 13% more today.
You think this should be a blowout already?
Yeah, it should be a blowout already. Mitch McConnell said this within the past couple of weeks. Candidates matter. I think the Republicans have nominated candidates in many of these races that ought to have been easier races for Republicans, who appealed to a Trumpy Republican Party in the primaries, but have less appeal across the general electorate. And I think that's a challenge.
By the way, Symone, before you chime in here, we put together something, gas prices have gone down.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's really helped Democrats. So guess what? The advertising on the inflation issue has changed from gas to another liquid. Take a look.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk.
Just think about the cost of breakfast today. Milk is $4 a gallon.
A gallon of milk in the last year has gone up so much. Everything costs more.
While wages are flat, milk is up 60%, eggs almost 40%, and even bacon is up. And I take that personally.
Yes, that's Don Bacon. So, Symone, I mean, part of it's funny, the gas price issue was so front and center in people's minds that it did seem to, as it went down, Democratic numbers went up. Certainly Biden's numbers went up. So you saw a shift to milk.
A shift to milk and groceries. The folks that probably hadn't been in the grocery store in a while found themselves in the aisle.
By the way, I've seen a lot of candidates shopping, and you're right. They don't look like they've done this very often.
They have not been there before. Look, I think the issue of gas prices is something that the White House has a competition council and basically a task force that meets every day, and it's their job to figure out how to get prices down. Their focus was gas prices for a while. Obviously, the work that they did made a difference. Gas prices have gone down. It's my understanding that now they are talking about more what is happening at the grocery store. I will say this, though. I think that what I'm seeing in these races is that if you're a candidate that is being besieged by negative ads, the way to do something about how that is affecting the numbers is to do a targeted look on what is working. And in every race that I have worked, that is what the candidates have had to do. So the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee has to work with these Senate campaigns. The DGA has to work with these gubernatorial campaigns to figure out what is sticking and then how they can counter that. I have no doubt that Senator Gary Peters, who's no stranger to this, is doing that.
Susan, I want to pivot a little bit to Donald Trump. He has used some, as always, his rhetoric seems to get more extreme and we get sometimes numb to it. He issued a death threat against, I don't know any other way to put it, against Mitch McConnell. I'll let viewers decide whether this is a death threat to them. Is McConnell approving all these trillions of dollars worth of Democrat-sponsored bills without even the slightest bit of negotiation because he hates Donald J. Trump? And then he has a death wish, must immediately seek help and advice from his China-loving wife, Coco Chow. So very racist attack against his wife. It was just extraordinary. And there seems to be a numbness now to this, particularly among Republicans.
An attack not against a Democrat. This is against the Capitol's leading Republican figure. And as you said, the death threat, which the Trump people say was meant in a kind of rhetorical manner, you can't explain
There's nothing
away.
funnier than death threats.
I
didn't understand their spin.
In this climate, where many members of Congress are getting a lot of death threats and have to spend money on security, it's especially not humorous. And the racial slur, I think, is very hard to explain away. But Trump is on the ballot this year in any number of these races, in races where he got candidates, the candidates he wanted on the ballot that Democrats are now exploiting their ties to. Maybe on some of these cases he'll win, but he is on the ballot as much as Joe Biden is.
But if he's on the ballot, I mean, I think your first point is really an important point. He's not spending his time attacking Democrats right now. I mean, he's attacking them in his speeches. He's criticizing Democrats at his rallies. But he's not spending money. I mean, Donald Trump's PAC's raised more than $100 million. Where's that money going to Republican candidates? It's really not.
Julio, we're seeing him still more popular in South Florida than he was 4 years ago, right?
Totally, yeah. It's interesting. But it's also interesting how Trump is in the battle and Democrats know it. And the message from Democratic candidates, it's also about defending democracy and criticizing Trump. So at the same time, Democrats, I think, are using him as an asset.
All right, before I go, Symone, I want to, the Jackie Walorski moment with President Biden, I'm going to play a clip of it and of Karine Jean-Pierre's response and get you to respond to it. Here it is.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
I just explained she was on top of mind. This wasn't what we were able to witness today, and what the president was able to lift up in this at this conference, at this event, was how her focus on wanting to deal with, combat food insecurity in America.
Jackie Walorski died in a car accident in, I believe it was in August. She was a big part of this hunger, and so that's how this moment came about. Symone, how would you have handled that situation?
Look, Karine Jean-Pierre has a very tough job, and I think she goes out there every single day, and a number of people could not do what she does every day. Look, I think it's very clear that the president had a slip of the tongue, obviously, and I'm sure he is extremely apologetic to the family of the Congresswoman if he caused them any more trauma or agony. No one, I think everyone understands that the president unfortunately uniquely understands how the family is feeling, and I'm sure he made that very clear to them when they came to the White House on Friday. I think just to acknowledge it, he had a slip of the tongue, move on. It's unfortunate. Again, life is here. He understands, and empathize. I think that's what's most important here, and I think Karine did try to do that.
People make mistakes, and you try to
Yeah. It is like we've all done it before.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.